Everyone on YouTube will tell you to never mix a track in a pair of headphones, but today I'm gonna prove them all wrong. In this video I'm gonna show you my 3 secret essential tools so you can start mixing with headphones right now. Alright, so before we begin, I suggest you to spend money on good pair of headphones before you attempt to start mixing on them. One super popular headphone that it's used by many producers is the Beyerdynamics DT770 Pro, but today my go-to headphones are my Hi-Fi Man Edition XS, which are also fairly affordable if you want to actually have an increase in audio quality. So yeah, my first suggestion is to try to do your research and spend the most money that you can to afford a high quality pair of headphones, so then you can get a more accurate representation of your mix. Alright, so the first tool is a headphone calibration tool and it's called Sound ID Reference. Now there are many sound calibration profiles. There will be people telling you that Sound ID it's maybe not the best, others will prefer Sound ID. In my opinion, it's the only one that I've ever used and it just works for me. But the way I use it, it's like this. Right, so this is Sound ID Reference. These are my two profiles, this DT770 Pro and my Hi-Fi Man. I have the Edition XS, but they don't have the profile calibration, so I just use the Aria, which they have similar frequency response. So the idea of this tool is that you actually flatten up your headphones or correct what your headphones might have too much, might have too little, and this plugin just corrects them and gives you exactly what your headphones are missing. So for example, if I place my pointer right in the before, it will show you how my DT770 Pros react to sound. So as you can see in the low end, we have a little bit of a cut. We don't have much sub information, we have some dips here, and we have a lot of brightness in these headphones. You can see in the curve in the high end that we have a lot of brightness. It has a brightness boost. So what this plugin does, if after calibration it just puts an inverted curve, so it just corrects everything that has too much, and if it has too little it would just boost it, and then the simulated after would be a flat response. Okay, personally I started using flat targets, but nowadays I would go to this dry and wet knob here and I would just put it around like 60 or 50%, so then my simulated after looks a little bit more natural on how we perceive sound. The reason why this is so important is because if your headphones have too much high end, for example, in your mix, you would probably go like, oh, my high end it's a little bit too bright, I will just decrease because it's too bright. But then once you take your headphones off and you listen in another space, you might feel that you have decreased too much volume, and the reason is because your headphones were telling you that your high end was too high, but in reality maybe that was not the case. It was just your headphones fooling you. That's why mixing on a more flatter target or on a more natural target will make you have better decisions. This is my headphone profile calibration that I use every time I mix on headphones. Alright, the second tool that it's a must and not many producers on YouTube talk about, it's called Can Opener by Good Hertz. And this is an essential tool because it emulates the way we as humans listen or hear in a natural way. And this means that, for example, if I grab a clap and I just pan it fully to the right, then my left ear, if we are listening in the speakers, will also listen to that right clap. You know, it's going to have a little bit of a bleed, if you could say, into my left ear too. But if we do that on headphones, if we pan a clap fully to my right, what it means is that only my right driver is going to reproduce that clap. Nothing is going to be picked up by my left ear, but that's not how we naturally hear in a practical environment. So what this does is it adds this crossover so we can start listening a little bit of the bleed of the sound into the left ear. Let me show you how it sounds. Okay, so this is Good Hertz Can Opener. So the way you use this is you just place this plugin on your master, and then I usually slap a limiter here so we avoid clipping. This plugin also has a save feature right here that will enable some headroom, but I really don't like it. I prefer to just listen to my signal as it's coming out of the master. And you have to use this tool turned on as you mix, but remember to turn it off whenever you export. And let's listen this without. I'm going to fully pan my claps to our right and my hat to our right. And if you're listening with headphones, you will tell the difference right away. As you can hear, it adds a super natural width as if you were listening to through a pair of speakers. So this will mean that you will actually get a more accurate representation on the width of your mix just by adding this plugin into your master. The third essential tool is a room emulation. Room emulations will actually try to emulate different rooms like clubs or different studio environments, and the idea is for you to have a nice pair of headphones with a nice room emulation. The ones that I've been using right now, it's RealPhones 2.0. There are many other plugins and applications that do this, but RealPhones for me is the best. There's also another tool that many producers enjoy. I personally never tried it, but I would love to test it one day, and it's called Steven Slate Audio VSX. And this is a pair of headphones with its own plugin. So the headphone was specifically designed to be working with this plugin, so you can emulate different rooms in almost like super high precision. Let me show you how room emulations work. Okay, so here we have RealPhones 2, and as I said before, this plugin is to emulate different rooms and different environments so you can test your mix on different spaces. Now I want to be clear, this plugin also have profile correction on headphones. Personally, I've never tested it, but I've heard good things about this too. So you can replace the plugin one, which was Sound ID, just with RealPhones. So this is the interface, and as you can see, we have many places that we can test our mix. So let's take a listen first of all to the track without room calibration. That's the track without calibration. Let's turn this on and let's go to a club. So for example, this is how this exact same track would sound in the club. So as you can hear, it really feels like you are in a club. And not only that, we have also car test, we have different studios. So I will just be cycling through the different calibration profiles so you can take a listen. So yeah, this is RealPhones, a super essential tool in my opinion if you want to start listening and testing your tracks on different environments. So then if you have a nice pair of headphones, like a super high quality pair of headphones, and you have a nice headphone calibration profile, and then on top of that you add RealPhones to test your mixes on different environments, and you add a can opener to start mixing your tracks, you now do not have any excuse to not achieve your perfect mix. Right guys, so these are the 3 essential tools that you need to start using right now if you want to mix professionally with headphones. Trust me, it's possible. I've done it, many producers have done it. It's super important to have as much tools as you can if you are producing on the go, if you are going to other countries, or if you are constantly moving around your city. These tools are super important so you can start guaranteeing having the exact quality that you look after producing a track. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Also, don't forget to leave your comments down below if you have any questions. Also, remember that we have a Discord so you can join and you can start asking me questions, or you can ask ask other producer questions, you can share your music, samples, whatever you want. It's just a space for us to learn and grow together. So hit the Discord with the link in the description. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.